Hey guys, welcome back to Freestyle Unlimited. Today we are going to be going over my top 5 favorite performance modifications. So let's get to it. Whether you've been in the community a long time or maybe you're just looking to get your first ski, this is going to be a breakdown of the top 5 performance modifications that I like to do to my jet skis. So let's get started with number 5. Starting off today's list, we are going to be starting with number 5, which would be an intake grate. They come in many shapes and forms. This is going to just be your standard open grate. It's going to allow a little bit better water flow. It is actually designed to pull more water in with this scoop design here to feed your pump more efficiently. You'll see them in many different forms. Like on the 550 build, we've got a scoop grate. The Superjet also has a scoop grate. The SXR has a scoop grate as well, and many other aftermarket jet skis will have different designs. You'll see them anywhere from just a grated one, or you'll see them open, but this is going to allow your ski to breathe a little bit better, pull more water in, which will allow you to actually process more water and get more power out the back of your ski. So that's why this is number 5 on my list. Let's get to number 4. Coming in at number 4, we've got our ride plate. This is going to mount to the back of your ski. In this case, on this 550, it mounts at the very back here. You will see them in many different designs as well, not unlike our intake grates. This one specifically is my favorite because it has some grooves here, which allow you to kind of have a little bit more grip in the rear end. It's kind of interesting to say when you're talking about water, but the ride plate will change your ski completely. If we look at a little bit of a comparison here, this one you can see is completely flat on the bottom. So giving it some ridges and grooves for the water to flow through, you're gonna create more resistance when you're trying to turn, allowing you to grip up in the rear. And when you turn this one specifically, it's got these fins on the side, which when you've got it under the ski here, it allows it to track a lot better. You can go straight, it's more stable, and then when you go to turn, it'll hook the back end a lot harder. So that is why this is number 4 on my list. These are super easy to come by. Tons of companies still make them. You can get a lot of the classic brands, like this brand is Ocean Pro. My other intake grate is West Coast. A lot of these older brands, they don't make them anymore, but you can find them used on Marketplace from anywhere from $20 up to some of them, the nicer condition ones, maybe $200. But a cheap, easy way to change the riding style of your ski and improve handling. At number 3, we have a Aftermarket water box. This one specifically is a Super Trap brand. They don't often look like this. Super Trap kind of has a more unique design. Oftentimes they'll look closer to a stock water box, which we can take a look at up here on the JS 550 and the 440. It is located up in the nose here. Pretty easy to access. You can do it by just pulling the tank and pulling these straps off. You'll disconnect a hose clamp at the pipe, and you'll disconnect a hose clamp at the exhaust outlet, and then you'll undo these little hold down straps in here. You can kind of see them in here. They're very similar to these, and they just hook down on the hole. And you can pull it out, put your new one in, tighten down your clamps again, and you are good to go. So this is a very easy, probably 15-minute install, and it'll drastically change the sound of your ski. With that being said, you definitely want to do some research if you're looking at changing out your water box to change the sound of the ski. Do your research, look on YouTube, find some videos, find something that you like, because they have such a range of sound that you can end up with just such a simple change of the water box. So find a sound you like, find that water box, and definitely install it. This will change the way the ski rides. If you're anything like me and you like the sound of the two-stroke and the exhaust, this is going to be one of the easiest and most impactful in terms of your exhaust sound. So like I said, if you're like me and you like exhaust, do an aftermarket water box. Now, although your water box will often change the sound the most on your ski, it's not going to give you necessarily the highest performance gain when talking about exhaust. The biggest thing that you can do for performance with your exhaust is going to be an aftermarket pipe. Style right here is referred to as a half pipe because you're utilizing half of the stock exhaust. You're getting rid of the stock expansion chamber, or bread box as most people call it in the jet ski community for these 550s, and you are replacing that with an aftermarket expansion chamber. So realistically, this is not a full pipe, it's a half pipe. Again, because you are using half of the stock and half aftermarket. There are many other kinds of pipes. For example, I have on my Superjet, I have what's called a dry pipe. This runs no water in it. So it's much louder. You get better top end on these, and they're just overall really cool looking in my opinion. But as you can see, it's much larger, takes up a lot more room inside of the ski. So there are inconveniences to some of them. The 550 here has a PJS full pipe. It's got the head pipe here, which attaches to a stock manifold or an aftermarket manifold, but it's got the PJS head pipe, which loops down, connects to an expansion chamber, which is also PJS, runs all the way up, and goes into my aftermarket water box. This is considered a full pipe design. If you are a Yamaha guy and you are shopping for a pipe, you will probably come across a lot of listings for what people call a factory B pipe. This is probably one of the most sought after pipes for the Yamaha platform, being a 701 for the most part, or 760. This is going to be the highest performance pipe you can have and bolt on to a Yamaha ski. A lot of people will buy these for stock Superjets or put them on their modified skis because they add a lot of power. Again, not unlike the Kaufman pipe, this is probably the easiest bolt-on power you can get out of your ski, comparable to porting your ski. People will also go out of their way. They will even port the head pipes to make the exhaust bigger. They will modify these themselves to get more power out of them. But the expansion chamber and the head pipe design are very, very well known. They are highly spoken of. These pipes are actually tunable. So they have these little set screws that you can screw in and screw out to allow water in. There's one here, and there's one on the back, and there's one down towards the bottom to tune the pipe exactly to what you want it to do. So factory B pipe, for all you Yamaha guys out there, they might have some for Cowie. I know that they made them for the 550, but they made it in a half pipe. You will see these. They're great. I love mine. If you have a Yamaha build that you're doing, definitely consider the factory B pipe. They are a little spendy. They are usually used between $800 and $1,000. Brand new, you're looking probably closer to $1,500. Last type of pipe that you might see is called a laydown pipe. So starting at your manifold here, rather than having a head pipe that comes up and circles back down, it's going to come straight out of your cylinder, and it's going to go into a pipe that pretty much stays as low as possible in the ski. Your expansion chamber is going to be very large and at the front of the ski, and then your water box will be usually over here. There's a few different designs, but it's called a laydown pipe because it is designed to lay down in the ski. So these are far less common. You'll usually only see these on high-end freestyle builds. Some people may run them in their super jets, but usually they're more geared towards higher displacement, higher power skis. So these are on the pricier side. You'll see them anywhere from, $800 up to, I think this Power Factor pipe brand new is almost $2,000. So, there's a whole range of different pipe styles that you'll come across, but you just need to find what's right for your build. Like I said, there's many different types. They are going to serve their own purpose, so I highly recommend doing your research. If you are looking to get a pipe, do your research online. There's a ton of jet ski forums, and that's actually part of why I love the community when it comes to jet skis, is there is so much information out there, and there are so many people that are a wealth of knowledge that are looking to share with the community. They will give you their opinions, whether this is their favorite pipe, maybe it's a factory pipe, maybe it's a West Coast pipe, but do your research, kind of make your own decision on what you think is best, and find something that you like the sound of and the performance of, and just kind of build it to be yours. We have our Kaufman pipe. This is for JS 550 or 550 SX, and this specific pipe from Kaufman's has been regarded as the best pipe for the 550 platform. So I was very fortunate to find this one. They are getting a little bit pricey. Standard pipes you can get anywhere from $80 up to maybe $400, $500 and up. Really, the sky is the limit. A lot of the vintage stuff is more expensive. These are currently trending on eBay for between $400 and $500. Many people say that the Kaufman pipe is comparable, or the only thing comparable in terms of bolt-ons to doing port work to your motor. So that's how drastic of a change you can have from just an aftermarket exhaust pipe. And that is why it comes in at number 2, not number 1, number 2 on the list, because this is the best bang for your buck in terms of performance without doing a full motor build with port work, with tuning, and all of that. That being said, the most important one and the number 1 thing on my list of modifications you can do to your jet ski is going to be an aftermarket carb. This specifically is not an aftermarket carb. This is a BN44. This is what we are going to be running on the 550 unless I end up changing my mind and we go with an SBN, which is going to be my go-to. A carb is 100% necessary. If you're looking to make more power and you're going to be upgrading your jet ski, whether it's a exhaust water box, or you're going to do a pipe, or you're going to do an intake manifold, you're going to make changes to the way that the fuel flows into the motor or the exhaust flows out of the motor, you have to be able to tune it. And that's where a carb comes in. You can rejet it, you can add more fuel, you can pull fuel out of it. That's how you're going to adjust all of your fuel settings for your skis. You can really only maximize the power that you're getting out of your ski if you can control how much fuel it's getting. If you get too much fuel, it's going to bog down. And if you don't have enough fuel, it's going to lean out. So having a properly built carb that is properly jetted for your modifications and your setup is going to be the most important modification on a ski, in my opinion. And without it, likely you might see some increases in power, but these will range anywhere from $100 to $200, and they're going to open up all of your other modifications that you do in terms of the motor. So the water box, the pipe, you're only going to get the maximum effect of them if you can build and you can tune your carb properly to those modifications. And that's why your carburetor is the #1 modification on my list of top 5 things you can do to your stand-up jet ski. As you guys know, I build my skis to my personal preference. This is just my opinion on what I think are the top 5 upgrades you can do for performance on your stand-up jet ski. You know, some of these actually are, you know, more handling mods, which I'll probably do another video on my top 5 handling mods to do on skis. But for general performance, if you're just getting into it, or you've got a stock ski that you're just not quite getting the performance you want out of it, these are the 5 things I would do that are somewhat cost effective that you can do in a day easily. If you bought all these parts, you could install them on your ski, take it to the lake, tune it. You know, maybe you'll have to rejet it, but you could do this in a weekend and you would have essentially a whole new ski once you're out on the other side. Anyways, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching. If you guys can, please subscribe, please like the video, comment down below, give me suggestions. I really want to know what you guys want from this channel. So any input is much appreciated, and we'll see you on the next one.